Hello and thanks for joining us on Nationwide. I'm Ayodiji Makinde. Please remember that you can watch this news broadcast because it's been streamed live on nta.ng/live. And you can also follow on all our social media handles displayed on the screen for more updates. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo is in Accra, Ghana, representing Nigeria at the 61st Ordinary Session of the Authority of ECOWAS Heads of States and Government. Vice President Osinbajo is joining other leaders to deliberate and take decisions on the political, security and humanitarian issues confronting the sub-region at the regular ECOWAS summit. The meeting will also review the situations in Mali, Guinea and Burkina Faso, particularly towards restoring democratic rule. West African leaders have since 2020 held several sessions, including emergency meetings dedicated to finding lasting solutions to the resurgence of coups in some of the countries in the sub-region. On the sidelines of the summit, the Vice President will also attend a meeting of the 5 West African countries involved with the Abidjan-Lagos Corridor Highway Development Project, a flagship project for the program, and also infrastructure development in Africa. The federal government has restated commitments to reducing high prevalence of maternal and child mortality in the country. The Minister of Health, Dr. Osagi Ehanire, stated this at the launch of Reproductive, Maternal, Child, Adolescent and Elderly Plus Nutrition Health Policy document in Abuja. Basi Ita-Ipang reports.
Records from the Federal Ministry of Health shows currently maternal mortality ratio in Nigeria stands at 512 days per 100,000 live births. This means about 5 women die during pregnancy, childbirth, or within 2 months of childbirth. Worried by these unpleasant health indices, as well as the high rates of malnutrition in the country, the federal government convened this meeting with stakeholders in Abuja, with one thing at the center of these like minds: solution.
So this subject covers the entire cycle of life from beginning to end. It covers prevention of disease, promotion of health, cure of illness, and mental well-being.
How to have an effective policy document on productive, maternal, child, adolescent, and elderly plus nutrition health policy.
We don't have the platform to deliver. The only platform that exists for Federal Ministry of Health is the tertiary institution, and that is supposed to serve the state as a resource base to build their capacity, to mentor, to ensure that they provide quality. And how many states are tapping from that resources?
Political commitment at national and state level is another solution that was preferred. Partners pledge support to the improvement of the nation's healthcare delivery. Basi Taipan, NTA News.
In another development, Governor Babagana Umara Zulum has inaugurated a 30-bed capacity Wulari Primary Healthcare Center, one of the numerous healthcare facilities constructed and equipped by the state government. The governor also flagged off distribution of free maternal health care drugs and consumables to health institutions in the state. Mohammed Goni reports.
The edifice, one of the 60 primary healthcare centers constructed by the present administration, is fully equipped with all medical necessities to bring healthcare service to the doorsteps of the citizens. Zanna Shetima, who spoke on behalf of the community, appreciated Governor Zulum for construction of roads, street lights, and healthcare center, assuring collaborative efforts to maintain the facilities.
This administration within the last 3 years constructed and rehabilitated close to 100 health facilities in Borno State. We have also provided equipment and other medical infrastructures that are needed to support the healthcare delivery systems in the state.
The governor, who called for sustained maintenance of the center, also assured that government is making concerted effort to address issues of power supply to healthcare facilities and the state as a whole. Commissioner for Health, Professor Arab Alaji, highlighted achievements recorded in the health sector by the Zulum administration that include recruitment of staff of all cadres, provision of infrastructure, implementation of federal salary structure, upgrading of equipment and provision of drugs and consumable worth 900 million naira, among others. The occasion also featured presentation of free maternal healthcare drugs and consumable to some healthcare centers in Maiduguri Metropolitan Council and Jere local government. Governor Zulum had equally handed over 81 units of 3-bedroom apartment at the doctor's quarters inaugurated by the Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo, with another story building of 6 flats at Mohammed Shua Memorial Hospital, specifically built for medical doctors, and a check of 79 million naira. 2 out of the 81 flats were fully furnished, while 1 million naira checks were issued as furniture support to beneficiaries whose flats have not been furnished, including the wife of abducted Gobio Principal Medical Officer Dr. Bola Magaidam. Governor Zulum, who assured the wife of the abductee doctor of safe rescue of her spouse, also thanked the medical doctors for their sacrifices for the people of Borno and further urged them to maintain the edifice and directed 2 utility vehicles be provided to them for their daily movement. Governor Zulum also inaugurated 2.71 kilometer Ramad Wulari Road and the drainages initiated and completed by the present administration. In Maiduguri, Mahmoud Goni, NTA News.
Elsewhere, Governor Gboyega Oyetola of Osun State has inaugurated health facilities. This is facilitated by federal government through the Sustainable Development Goals SDG office at the presidency as part of efforts of the federal government to improve the healthcare delivery system in Osun and Nigeria at large. Bolaji Akim has details.
The multiple state-of-the-art health facilities have, among others, a 100-bed mother and child hospital, 80-bed multipurpose hospital, skill acquisition and entrepreneur center, as well as transit home and vocational center for abused women and girls. The projects located in Osogbo and Ibragbeji were facilitated by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals in partnership with Osun State. Governor Gboyega Oyetola, while inaugurating the projects, expressed his administration's commitment to the health and well-being of the people of Osun. The governor also lauded President Muhammadu Wulari for considering Osun as one of the beneficiaries.
With this new and imposing facility, we are taking another permanent step closer to fulfilling our vision of empowering our people with a view to making them healthy, which will further boost our drive for sustainable economic development.
The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, Adejoke Urulepe Adefulure, commended the governor for striving to build a healthy population. She noted that the execution of the projects was in fulfillment of President Muhammadu Buhari's promise to provide quality healthcare services for Nigerians, particularly women and children.
All these projects are related to different goals of the SDGs, which the President promised Nigerian people. And doing this is to complement what the subnational government is doing.
The 2 host communities are expected to take full ownership of the health facilities. In Osogbo, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
Away from health-related matters, former Minister of Transportation Rotimi Chibuike Amechi has tasked APC supporters in Rivers State to embark on grassroots mobilization, giving assurance that the party is poised to win the 2023 general elections in the state. This was at a reception at the Port Harcourt International Airport. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
This is the first time Amechi is coming to Rivers State after his exit from the Federal Executive Council and the APC presidential primaries. It was indeed a homecoming as party chieftains and APC supporters accorded him a heroic welcome. At a meeting held at the state party secretariat, the former minister pledged to unite the party in the state, enjoining party faithful not to be dissuaded by the antics of the ruling party in the state. He said APC will be on the ballot and would win the elections.
Trust the courts. Justice will be done. Don't be afraid. Go home and work. Our job is to do what? That's why I came. I came to thank you. I came to urge you to go home and work. Let all of us be unity there. I came to a whole series of meetings and I'll be coming home regularly to make sure that
APC governorship candidate Toye Ko reaffirmed the party's commitment to winning the 2023 general elections and ensure that Rivers people get the dividend of democracy. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
Eligible voters in Ebonyi State have been advised to take advantage of the 60 days extension announced by INEC to complete validation of their cards to enable them vote their leaders in 2023 general elections. The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the state, Dr. Ifeanyi Chukwuma Odi, gave the advice at a sensitization organized in Abakaliki. Kanayo Okoro reports.
The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Ebonyi State, Dr. Odi, said their yearnings for good governance in Ebonyi State cannot be realistic without permanent voter cards.
It is very important that every one of us will go and register to have our PVC. It's not only having PVC, but in the day of the election, we must make sure we come out in mass to vote and defend our votes. Please come out and register for the good of Ebonyi people. Our destiny is in our hand. God will use the PVC, our voters card, to empower us. And the only way to do that is for you to go and get registered or get your PVC. Another opportunity for us to develop a body. Nobody can tell you how to vote. It is your power. And you freely give it to who you want.
The event was preceded by the opening of an office to coordinate the political activities ahead. In Abakaliki, Kanayo Okoro, NTA News.
Nationwide continues from our Lagos Network Center, and Adeola is our guide. Good evening, Adeola. It's over to you.
Thank you. Good evening to you too. Welcome to Lagos. Lagos State government will continue its relentless drive to enhance its economic partnership with the European Union and initiate business-friendly policies to improve ease of doing business across the state. Governor Babagana Umara Zulum disclosed this at the 8th edition of the EU-Nigeria Business Forum in Lagos. Musa Toliat has the details.
One of the cardinal focus of the European Union Nigeria Business Forum is the need to reappraise the backward integration policy and explore ways of diversifying the economy through the policy. Discussions also centered on how Nigeria can come up with the right investment framework towards maximizing the gas export opportunities to Europe, especially as the war in Ukraine rages on.
The ongoing conflict in Europe has brought to the fore the issue of Europe's energy security and the need in the short and medium term to diversify sources of gas imports for the European Union and its member states. This could provide a win-win opportunity for Nigeria and the European Union.
The EU member states are committed to undertake projects in Nigeria to the tune of 950 million euros. I commend the effort of both the EU and Nigerian communities in building and fostering stronger ties.
Governor Babagana Umara stressed that the Business Forum is apt and it portends great economic advantages for Nigeria as the 9th largest producer of gas in the world, with huge economic potentials in global gas reserves put at 3%.
We need this to help grow as sustainable, the wealth creation, and the of food security. The National Development Plan 2021-2025 aims to unlock Nigeria's potentials in all sectors of the economy for sustainable, holistic, and inclusive national development.
Forging closer relations between EU and Nigeria in agribusiness was also part of roundtable discussion at the forum with the theme Nigeria and the New Economy. In Lagos, Musa Tolian, NTA News.
Let's now talk jungle justice. Recent events seem to suggest that a section of Nigerian society no longer places value on human life. Apart from the senseless killings and gang wars across the country, the return of jungle justice is the latest disturbing trend, which should make any reasonable human being to ask questions. Lives of many people have been taken at the slightest provocation, and it is becoming more alarming by the day. In this report, our correspondent takes a look at the dangers of these ugly trends and its effects on the psyche of a citizenry.
There is an epidemic of mob justice in Nigeria today, and the frequency at which they occur shocks our shared sensibilities. The nature of jungle justice across all parts of Nigeria leaves any discerning mind to wonder how low we are falling. Some commercial motorcyclists lynched a sound engineer identified as David Imo in the Lekki axis of Lagos State a few weeks ago. David and his friends were attacked by a mob of Okada riders over a misunderstanding concerning 100 naira balance. Nigerians recently woke up to the news of the gruesome killing and burning of a student of Shehu Shagari College of Education, Deborah, by a mob of her fellow students because they accused her of blasphemy. What could be responsible for this?
People don't believe in the police, people don't believe in the judicial system anymore. So they feel that if they should carry these alleged thieves to the police station, either they bribe their way out of it or they get released without going through the due process.
That destroyed a lot of lives, and I think in this modern generation, we shouldn't be doing such thing in Nigeria anymore.
People that take laws into their own hands, and even the person that also is caught in the act, all of them have mental health issues. There are some things that are not working well with their brain that will make one to take laws into his hands and kill.
So, what then can be done to reduce the incidences of jungle justice?
There's a need for the system to evolve, to give confidence to the people that rather than resolve it to jungle justice, they can get justice within the system if the system operates properly.
They should be educated to know what to do and what not to do.
It is true that we have barely functional and fractured law enforcement and judicial system, where it takes years before one can hope to get justice. But does it mean we should encourage sidestepping of the system? A stitch in time, they say, saves 9. In Lagos, Ruth Ariel Samuel, NTA News.
That's it from Lagos. Don't forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/alllive and on our other social media handles displayed on your screens for updates. Nationwide will continue with Ayo in Abuja after this time out. To stay with us.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
Harmony of biodiversity destroyed, both in climate crisis and crime phases.
Dicey situation indeed, yet we carry on like a bull in a china shop.
On environment matters, we take the bull by the horns, comb the nooks and cranny of Nigeria.
Asking tough questions,
examining challenges and opportunities,
giving human face to the science, facts, facts, and global agreements. It's a call for action. Don't miss it.
Join award-winning environmental journalist Jennifer Igwe and other NTA Eco reporters for Environment Matters.
I'm fascinated with the discourse on national monuments and assets and how much is being done to preserve and
to the language issue. We have turned English to become like a pride value in our own cultural values.
It's not cash transfer. It's not the COVID-19.
Invasion 1897 was a deliberate
many of these people coming to the urban areas now.
These and applications, there are terms and conditions.
Of course, it is the union of two people, a man and a woman coming together.
My name is Nambi Odipo.
And I'm Elizabeth Omori.
You're welcome back. Pursuant to President Muhammadu Buhari's economic diversification drive, concerted efforts are being made to ensure that the Calabar port becomes more viable by resolving all lingering issues affecting its optimal performance and attracting business operators to the port. With the recent influx of vessels to the port, including the Singapore bulk cargo vessel, experts predict that Calabar Port will soon become an economic window to the northern states. Achibong Basi reports.
Currently, the Calabar Port is operated by 3 world-class terminal operators. The port manager, Calabar Port, and the management team have continuously worked with dedicated targets of delivering on its mandate.
During the period under review, we received 72 vessels. Revenue generated in Calabar Port came up to $6.5 million.
For the first time in 4 to 5 years, the Calabar Port received a 196-meter-long vessel, the Value Tyler from Singapore.
Modernization of ports is holistic. It's not just about Tinkan or Apapa. We are talking about holistic modernization of all the ports that are owned and operated by Nigerian Ports Authority, including Calabar.
Reconstruction of mini safety station, certification of the ISO 9007 2015, rehabilitation and rebranding of staff canteen section, among others, are some of the laudable achievements of the management of the authority. In spite of these huge achievements by the Calabar Port, the challenge of full dredging of the Calabar Port water channel to accommodate bigger vessels still persists. The berthing of Value Tyler in the Calabar Port, stakeholders say, is a clear indication that Calabar Port is active and working as against the rumor of it being in comatose in Calabar. Achibong Basi, NTA News.
The Nigeria Exports Promotion Council is building the capacity of young entrepreneurs in international business through e-marketing by preparing them to take advantage of the largest opportunity of exporting their products and services. This was at a one-day workshop organized by the MENA Export Assistance Office of the Council with the theme Harnessing the Export Potentials of Youth in Niger State. Husseina Musa reports.
Statistics shows that 58.4%, equivalent to 462 billion of the world's population, uses social media with average daily usage of 2 hours 27 minutes. Nigeria accounts for more than 33 million of these users. It is to further leverage on the social media space and promote products and services that the Nigeria Export Promotion Council MENA Export Assistance Office organized a one-day capacity building to enhance the Youth Export Development Program that was launched last year.
This is part of the effort to try to, educate our youth, to try in as much as possible to reach the market access gap that has been, identified in youth-owned companies and cooperative societies whose product has been identified with market potential.
The youths, after being trained, are ready to explore the potentials of the largest market and take advantage of its linkages for international businesses.
With my phone, I can quite make a lot of money.
How you brand your products, how to start up your business online.
The workshop featured different presentations on social media and how best to explore its potentials. In MENA, Husseina Musa, NTA News.
From Nasarawa State comes a report that more than 6,000 smallholder farmers are to benefit from a 10-year federal government agricultural project that will boost rice, maize and sesame seed production in a 10-year project. This was made known by the special advisor to the Nasarawa State Governor on non-governmental organizations and development partners, Munirat Abdullahi, during the validation exercise of the benefiting farmers in Lafia. Ben Mitu reports.
Our state is known for the cultivation of variety of crops due to its conducive weather and climate advantage. It is for this reason that the state is selected among the 6 states of the Federation for the implementation of the project. So far, 3 local governments of Lafia, Doma and Akwanga have been selected for pilot scheme. The project will strengthen smallholder farmers' capabilities towards boosting food security for self-sustainability. Special Advisor to the Governor on Non-Governmental Organizations and Development Partners, Munirat Abdullahi, says the 10-year project will also capture dry season farmers by providing solar-powered boreholes, rural routes and farm inputs with the aim of alleviating poverty.
We intend to engage 15,000 farmers in the second phase and train them on modern methods of farming. We also intend to capture all groups like women, youth and the physically challenged.
Representatives of farmers in the benefiting local government areas commend the federal and Nasarawa state governments for considering them worthy of the initiative. The project, which is in collaboration with the African Union Development Agency and NEPAD, will be implemented on 18,000 hectares of land in the state. In Lafia, Ben Mitu, NTA News.
Ibadan is next on Nationwide and Kemi will be our guide. Good evening, Kemi. Take it up from here.
Thank you, Ayodeji, and a warm welcome to Ibadan. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, continues its engagement with stakeholders ahead of the July 16 governorship election in Osun State. The latest is a roundtable for media executives in the state, where they were urged to step up sensitization against vote buying. Femi Afariogu has details.
It is imperative for INEC in its stakeholders' engagement ahead of the governorship election to hold a roundtable forum with media executives in view of the media role and responsibility towards the success of any election. The INEC sees the opportunity of the media parley to underscore the significance of regular training of journalists to acquire requisite knowledge of the election process and its fundamentals, particularly the new Electoral Law 2022. INEC's national spokesman, Festus Okoye, noted that the Commission is not taking anything for granted. in its preparation for the Osun governorship election.
If the person's fingerprint does not match and the person's facial matches, the person is also allowed to vote. But if both of them fail, the voter will be politely asked to leave the polling unit. The implication is that the voter is engaged in, the person is engaged in identity theft, and we are not going to allow the person to vote.
We have had about 3 attacks where our cards were carted away, but I'm happy to inform you that in all cases, those responsible have been apprehended, we have recovered our cards.
A similar capacity building was held by INEC to acquaint Osun journalists with the workings of the 2022 Electoral Act and the new BVAS technology. Osun governorship election will hold on Saturday, 16th of July 2022 in Osogbo. Femi Afariogun, NTA News.
And reactions have continued to trail the planned presentation of the draft code of practice by the federal government seeking to regulate the social media. Kehinde Omolosho reports that the residents of Wulari expressed divergent views on the developments.
The federal government, through the National Information Technology Development Agency, has developed a draft code of practice that will regulate the practice of interactive computer service operations, which includes online activities across all social media platforms. The code aims at protecting fundamental human rights of Nigerians, as well as define guidelines for interacting in the digital ecosystem. It also seeks to establish a framework for collective efforts to protect Nigerians against online harms, such as hate speech, cyberbullying, misinformation, and disinformation. This, to Abdurazak Ayelabegan, an online media practitioner, is a welcome development.
We that we are in digital journalism, we are feeling the heat, because whenever people saw anything, they say those online people, they are spreading fake news, and which is not.
They should have a way of regulating it, put in check and balances, which one are the real ones and which one are the fake ones.
Abdulhamid Alaye, a broadcaster, believes the development requires political will and appropriate legal framework to check excesses of social media practitioners.
Effective legal framework and ethical standard as to affect conventional media. If they can do that, yes, I believe that that can be addressed.
Respondents want the federal government to tread with caution to allow for freedom of expression on social media platforms while still having some form of control that will bring sanity on social media platforms. Kehinde Omolosho, NTA News.
And that's it from Ibadan. Nationwide continues in Jos. After this break, do stay with us.
Was a civil servant.
I'm a teacher by profession.
I trained as a nurse.
I could not even remember some of them, but by their approach, greeting and respect.
I make beads. I liquid soap. I have stopped buying liquid soap from the market. I make it, and I teach these young ones how to do that. And when I do, it is not for any fee.
In most cases, I serve as consultants. Many people come to me inquiring how to go about doing the farming. I normally direct them on what to do.
Right now, I'm not into any paid job, as I said, but I'm happy doing what I'm doing.
Senior citizens over the years have shown that they are still capable of working. They have shown that retirement is only but a social construct, not a limitation. Senior citizens until the end carry around a wealth of knowledge that we can tap into. They have walked these journeys we now walk today. They have amassed all of these experiences so they can stand holding the torch so we do not stumble in the dark. Our senior citizens are national assets packed full with inestimable value. They should not be condemned to a life of obscurity, but one where they serve to illuminate our path. Promoting senior citizens for intergenerational workforce.
What are we doing as a nation to first of all settle our teeming populace, especially
NTA's political package with a third eye on the nation's political scene? I am Fisa Ogunfe. Welcome.
You have to be very careful giving space to people who are obviously sponsored to further the agenda of some other groups.
A lot of questions.
questions in a closed door sessions. Some of these issues, some of the problems bedeviling of their.
In fact, between June 1st and July 17, 19.something billion has left the coffers of the NDDC.
I can say my constituency, they need everything because we don't have anything.
Fascinated with the discourse on national monuments and assets and how much is being done to preserve and
to the language issue. We have turned English to become like a pride value in our own cultural values.
It's not cash transfer.
It's not a COVID-19.
Invasion 1897 was a deliberate
you know, many of these people coming to the urban areas now.
These and applications, there are terms and conditions.
Of course, it is the union of two people, a man and a woman coming together.
My name is Nampo.
And I'm Elizabeth Obori.
You're still watching Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. Welcome to Jos. Governor Simon Lalong is appealing to the federal government to fully implement reports of findings by the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating incessant attacks and wanton killings in some communities in Plateau State. The governor made the appeal in Jos while receiving members of the committee led by its chairman, Abubakar Hassan Fulata, at the government house. Priscilla Grumnan reports.
The House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating wanton killings in Wase and other communities was in the state against the motion by the Deputy Speaker, Ahmed Idris Wase, over incessant attacks and killings of people in his constituency and other communities in the state. The committee was on a fact-finding mission to unravel the causes of the attacks and unwarranted killings of citizens. The chairman decried that acts of criminality such as killings and kidnapping for ransom have become the order of the day.
We've been to Kuru. We've interacted with the people there. And they took us through their 90 experience, spanning nearly 10 years.
Governor Simon Lalong, represented by the Deputy Governor, Professor Sonny Tioden, appreciates the House of Representatives for its laudable initiatives in improving the security situation in the state.
Challenge to the National Assembly and to the federal government is to say that the report that will be given will spur some action, concrete action.
The committee later met with stakeholders in Wase, Bashar and Jos South, where it promised to submit a comprehensive report to the House for deliberations. In Jos, Priscilla Gumnan, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army has restated its resolve to sustain its welfare programs for serving and retired officers. Chief of Army Staff Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya stated this in Jos at a buffet for some serving and retired officers in 3 divisions. Ijoma Ozamena has details.
The banquet followed the need to promote unity and brotherly love among serving and retired officers. The ceremony gave the retired personnel a sense of belonging after meritorious service to the nation. Chief of Army Staff represented says retirement is a gratifying phase, asking them to bring their wealth of experience to bear in the fight against terrorism.
I would like to take this opportunity to inform you of the ongoing efforts to re-engage the services of our qualified retired discharge personnel in order to continue to benefit from your wealth of priceless experience and professionalism garnered over the years.
I want to most sincerely thank the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahaya, for this maiden occasion organized to honor us for our service to the Nigerian Army and the nation at large. You are indeed an epitome of hope.
I never knew that the army can recognize somebody who has served 35 years again after he has gone home.
It has been a nice thing serving the country.
in this way.
Highlight of the event was the presentation of Award of Excellence to the discharged officers and soldiers who had served the nation meritoriously in Jos. Ijoma Ozemina, NTA News.
And that's our contribution on Nationwide from Jos. It's back to Ayodeji in Abuja.
Thanks, Felicia, in our Jos Network Center. Moving on to some security matters, Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad has inaugurated the training of newly recruited community protection guards to complement the efforts of the security forces in combating increasing acts of terrorism in the state. Jemelo Ibrahim reports.
The state government recently announced its decision to recruit additional 200 community protection guards in each of the 19 emirates of the state as part of the newly introduced measures to combat the increasing acts of terrorism in the state. This brings the number of the civilian guards to 500 in each of the emirates. Zamfara State Police Command is saddled with the responsibility of giving a special paramilitary training to the civilian guards for them to hit the ground running. Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad, who inaugurated the training at the 42 Squadron of the Nigeria Police Mobile Force Base Gusau, emphasized that the decision to establish the community protection guards was informed by the state government's desire to work out all possible options to deal with the increasing attacks on communities by terrorists, which have forced many of the rural dwellers to particularly abandon their farmlands in this year's rainy season.
The cost of carrying out your mandate, I urge you to work within the parameters of the rules of engagement, which should be clearly spelled out to you during the training.
Zamfara State Commissioner of Police Ayuba Elkana expressed the command's support to the initiative.
This crop of protection guards have been selected, tested, they are trusted, they are dedicated, they are willing to lay their life for the safety of Zamfara people.
The event marks the proper take-up of the training in all the 19 emirates across Zamfara State. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
About 70 people who allegedly lured and harbored by a church in Ondo West local government area of Ondo State under the pretense of religion have been rescued by the Nigeria Police Force. Kayode Olorundari reports that 23 of them are children.
No fewer than 70 people, including children and teenagers, were rescued from a church under lock and key in Ondo Town, Ondo State. The people who were abducted and kept in the church, known as the Whole Bible Believer Church, since January said they acted on the instructions that they must not go out and expect the second coming of Jesus Christ.
God gave us instructions. He told us to wait before in 7 days for a specific project to draw us closer to Him. It was just 2 months ago I was told to pray, to get some information from God.
Since I've been in secondary school, I've been there.
The father is having issue with the daughter. On what? That the daughter should not come to the church. Yes. So on that basis, the father did not pay the school fees. Then I said, you cannot force this your daughter like that. Since January this year, I've not set my eyes on my daughter. And she has gone to school to defer her admission. And she acted on the instruction of the pastor and the assistant pastor, who spoke to her that it is from the Lord. Rapture is coming by September 2022.
Police Public Relations Officer, Ondo State Command, Fumilayo Odunlami, said the church will be charged to court for illegal abduction and harboring after investigation.
By the time the police got to the church, just to see the pastor to invite him, the members of the church turned violent and assaulted the policemen. However, preliminary investigation revealed that some of these members have been in the church since January. An assistant pastor who claimed Jesus was going to come back by April and later told them rapture was going to take place by September 2022. So he encouraged them to stop schooling and to come around and stay within the church. There was an underground in the church where they were kept.
She advised parents and guardians to take proper care of their children and wards. In Akure, Kayode Olorundari, NTA News.
The Nigerian Navy says it will not relent in raiding the waterways of criminality and illegalities perpetrated by economic saboteurs. Base Operations Officer, Nigerian Navy Ship Victory, Lieutenant Commander Clement Ayogo said this while handing over a total of 252 bags of seized parboiled rice to the Nigeria Customs Service. Justina Etam reports.
The arrest of 6 suspects with 3 wooden boats and 677 drums of illegal suspected premium motor spirit seized by operatives of the Nigerian Navy was made possible through the routine patrol of the force on the 13th of June 2022. While handing over documents of the suspect and seized items to the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, a representative of the NNS Victory Calabar noted that the arrest was made along Ikang-Bakassi waterways.
An operation that was launched 3 months ago by the Nigerian Navy called Operation Dakata de Barao. It was during such patrols that these criminals were intercepted along Ikang Channel. From intelligence, I think the products are being smuggled out from Ikang to the neighboring country of Cameroon.
We're going to do a preliminary investigation and to know the next step to take. 6 suspects, they will definitely be charged to court, and the court will do that which it needs to do.
The security agency, however, commended the Nigerian Navy for its efforts at ensuring that criminal activities are reduced in the nation's waterways and affirmed its synergy in curbing crimes. In Calabar, Udwak Etam, NTA News.
To ensure compliance across the value chains in the downstream sector of the oil and gas, a joint operation in Abuja has taken the fight to the den of petrol peddlers and illegal operators. The message is clear. No defaulting station operator or peddler will be spared. Lydia Sampson completes the story.
From dawn to dusk, the illicit trade of petrol peddlers goes on uninterrupted. Ironically, they are interrupting seamless product availability at petrol stations legally registered to sell products. However, some petrol stations are allegedly complicit as they serve as ready depots supplying the illegal fuel operators.
What people should also realize is this product is highly volatile. They are endangering their lives and then the lives of other people, as well as those even patronizing them. And then the fuel stations that they are getting these products from are also not helping matters. We have enough product in the country, so there is no need for all of this.
These joint operations are committed to mitigating the ugly trend and ensuring compliance across the value chains in the downstream, from the central areas strategically hiding products in uncompleted buildings to using drainages. The fuel peddlers, who mostly abandon products, know it can no longer be business as usual.
In the course of arresting these people, what I would have said, if you can arrest some of these people, they will now take you to the police station where they used to buy that thing and see that police station.
Though diesel is now deregulated and following the scarcity of diesel, it is surprising to find a diesel depot. Most of the products here are diesel, and we've just learned from the regulating authority that they are not allowed to operate in residential area and must follow due process.
I think the question should be posed to my boss. I think he has necessary documentations to why he should work here. I'm very sure he does.
We are going to seal this place. If we seal it, then they need to come and see us in the office. Because yes, and bring any evidence that they have to be operating here.
They say the joint operation will be sustained until compliance across the downstream is achieved. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
In line with its motto, Service Above Self, the Rotary Club of Abuja, Maitama, has formally installed Rotarian Yusuf Ali as its 11th president to serve for the next 1 year. Miriam George Jitubo reports that Ali is the first male president of the club.
This was how it all went down at the investiture ceremony of the 11th president of the Rotary Club of Abuja, Maitama, Rotarian Yusuf Ali, as he takes over the mantle of leadership of the club From Rotarian Victoria Unarumi.
It's a higher call to service. I used to be an honorary member. Now I am to lead the club. A club of over 100 members. It's not a small responsibility, but I know with teamwork, I will survive it.
I employ all the members of Rotary Club of Abuja Maitama to give our synergy president, Rotarian Yusuf Ali, and the new board of directors the same support we gave me.
Some dignitaries that were recognized as honorary members for their contributions to the development of the club commended the Rotary Club for rendering service to humanity and putting smiles on the faces of the less privileged.
We must never yield to the temptation to believe that giving back to the society that produced us is a payment to the needy.
When we celebrate those that are leading us, we in turn invite the general public to come and see what we are trying to do in our community.
As it is with every investiture, new members were formally inducted into the Rotary Club of Abuja Maitama. Mariam George, Dutubo, NTA News.
Despite the challenges facing the legal profession in Nigeria today, the society expects lawyers to be standard bearers as well as good ambassadors of their faith. Miriam Emeka Amadi reports that this was the crux of the National Committee meeting of Muslim Lawyers Association of Nigeria, MULAN, held at the National Mosque, Abuja.
This is the National Committee meeting of Muslim Lawyers Association MULAN, also involving critical stakeholders and other members who will be instrumental to the implementation of the decisions being taken in this meeting. Members are raising concerns about their welfare as well as the legal profession, and most importantly, supporting a candidate in the coming NBA election.
We take decision together. Whoever is seeking our support, we must get commitment from them that as members of the NBA, our interests will be taken care of. There are other issues of national concern.
When I become the General Secretary, I guarantee you that every interest group in the Nigeria Bar Association will be fairly treated and will be adequately provided for.
MULAN is an association with a track record of displaying commitment to the protection of members. Expectations are therefore high that deliberations will birth result-oriented solutions that will bolster NBA and the association.
We are like setting a program for the executive to execute, in addition to what they have at the back of their mind.
General election of the nation is coming up, so our members are going to put high delegation on our involvement and roles.
The NEC meeting is between the professional challenges and societal expectations. Miriam Amadi, NTA News.
And next is sports updates.
Ahead of their opening Group C game against